Good morning.
Good morning, here we are.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Cooper
Please
Associates
welcome
countdown.
our umpires for this match, Alan Ritchie and Dick Allen.
Welcome to quite a bright morning.
Here they are, teams coming out onto the pitch. Big occasion. Got to make sure we get those photos in first.
Plenty of photos.
Definitely. And on such a beautiful day.
Absolutely.
Please show your appreciation for Gloucestershire, led by their captain,
we're
Matt Birmingham.
Both are on ours, yeah.
To open the batting for Somerset, Nick Dean and James Maylid, with Jack Milton as runner.
There we go. It's coming out.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Just setting the field.
Try talking through that.
Plenty of deliberation on field placings at the moment.
Definitely. Got to start the game right.
Nice to see a bit of sunshine out there.
I know, finally. Where has it been?
Far too long.
To open bowling from the Gloucestershire Pavilion end, Paul Seeley. Places the first ball, Nick Dean.
It's quite an attacking looking field at the moment.
It is.
And the newish pinky cherry has been passed to the bowler.
Yes. There we go. Here we go. We are ready for the first ball. Umpires quickly checking with each other.
Looks like we're ready.
Here we go. Lovely first ball.
Absolutely. Right on the money from the get-go.
Exactly. Need all the dots you can get on the power play.
Well kept out.
And again.
giving much to the batsman at all here.
Definitely not. This is the point that's always a bit nerve-wracking. Face 3 balls, 3 dots. Again.
Nothing there at all. No.
Roll into the field.
It's the end of the over. Quick swap around in the commentary box. I'm joined by Paul.
Good morning. Definitely glad the sun stayed out. Has helped.
As we were just saying, it's nice to be in short sleeves for a while.
Yeah, it's nice and warm out there as well. Just been warming up out there. So.
I bet it is. Are you playing today, or are you?
Hoping to be, yeah. So.
Young Xavier coming into bowl now. And we're away.
They've got a good chemistry, those three. They open up most weeks for us, so they've kind of got that good chemistry on how to keep the runs ticking over and pushing through.
Excellent. So how long have you been involved with the Somerset Centre?
2003, 2004. So yeah, been around for a while now, so...
A little bit wide there. So how did you become involved in it?
Well, John actually is one of our players, was working in the sports hall at the school I was at, and sort of said to me, hey, look, are you aware there's a disability cricket squad around, you know, and it was something at the time that I can't say cricket was my main sport. And went to a few training sessions and just realised what a good group it is, and you know, I use the word inclusive, not necessarily just from a disability perspective, but just from welcoming.
Yeah.
Just everybody just be willing to sort of make you part of the cricket family straight off the bat, and that really helped.
It's very much a group thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we got good chemistry between us, you know, you sort of see that throughout the day, and it sort of makes a difference. It makes you want to turn up, makes you want to play to the best of your ability to make sure you're supporting everybody on that team, doing what you can and your little bit of the job.
Brilliant.
That's a good
we're
shot.
Through, yeah. Could be the first boundary of the morning.
Go on.
There we go.
Yeah, good shot, mate.
Good shot.
Considering this boundary is fairly lot larger than we're used to playing on, that's a fairly hefty shot.
Absolutely. So where do you normally play your home games?
Taunton Dean.
Okay.
So,
It's not a million miles away.
No, we play most of our games out there, and then we've got a development team that play out of Ilton.
Slight misfield there, and that one's
Yeah.
crept through. Flurry of boundaries.
That'll make Nick a happy man. Get him up and running.
13 first 2 overs. That's a steady start.
it's simple at the moment to watch because we've only got Jack out there running, but there are times where there's 2 runners out there as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm a wheelchair user, so when I'm out there, I've got a runner as well. So if I was out there with Nick, there'd be 2 of us, and you've got to keep an eye on that. It can be quite confusing quite quickly.
It's amazing how quickly things can get complicated when there's more than 2 batsmen out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we played a game quite a few years ago now. In one of my early seasons, we were down at the Rose Bowl, and I remember standing there after hitting a single and looking around and went, why are all 4 of us stood at one end? Somebody's definitely at the wrong end. Slowly walked back down the other end before the fielding team realised.
Very tight line being bowled here now.
Yeah, they're a good little unit, Gloucester. They won the division last year. They beat us in the final.
Yeah.
So they're a good little unit, a good little team. Is he bowled him? Yeah.
That's well pushed through that one. Maybe
It
a little
was,
bit quicker.
nice ball. So again, now where it gets a little bit confusing is Jack's now going to come into bat,
Yep.
and Jim will now run for Nick.
Gotcha.
So this is where it all you won't see many changes. You won't see many people come on and off at this point, but that's our opening 3. So they'll switch over.
Absolutely. Makes things a bit easier.
We have confused teams before who've been waiting to see a new batsman arrive, and we're like, he's already here. It's all looking a bit blank to us.
Which I think might be happening now.
James Maynard was bowled by Paul Seeley. New batter, Jack Milton.
Over to the dreaded left-right combination.
Yeah.
Immediately a change of bowling coming round the wicket.
It's the fielding job now. This is always the fun bit when you've got, like you say, that left-right, is making sure you're in the right spot for each over and each batter.
A little bit full there, but got away with it. Slight change of angle makes things a little bit more awkward. Back on that line again now. It's well bowled.
Keeping his eye on that solid there, that's what we want.
Absolutely. Well behind it. Successful over for Gloucester. 13 for 1.
It's getting that mentality as well. We used to play 30, 35 over games, and that's the thing as well. I think the guys have got to remember they've got to get the right in, but they've got to get moving as well.
Absolutely.
think they're just fixing our scoreboard. That's probably my fault because I put the admin on the match and probably forgot to set it to a T20. So used to setting our games up by default, I forgot to even consider that.
There we go. Just drifting down leg side there. Umpire's given the wide.
I'm a man of many hats. I'm our safeguarding officer. I'm also a trained scorer. I help through the play cricket side of it. So it's, it's a fair bit to keep an eye on.
Tend to find that most clubs and sides have these men that do, well, anybody now has to wear all these hats.
Yeah, it's a good side of it. I mean, I run our dev team as well, so I help try and keep that development side. And I think the advantage of me being involved with the first and the dev is that I can kind of sort of see how things work from our first team side and sort of insight that on our dev team as well.
Absolutely fantastic.
Good running. That's a nice shot.
Absolutely, yeah. Very well played.
Yeah, Nick's been with us a little while now. He's got a good set of experience, good head on him. He knows what he wants from the game as well, and he's really good at sort of relaying that across the team to make sure we've got the right mentality of what we're aiming for and where we're heading. And Jack, he's been helping me captain our dev side as well, so it's good experience.
It's a
Good
nice
shot.
shot. Do you definitely think the disability game's getting bigger and bigger?
Yeah, definitely. I think the way the layout of the game has changed a lot. The Super 9 stuff it gives us that opportunity to show what we can do. I think, like I say, a lot more teams, Gloucester included, are sort of having development teams now. The game's expanding. People are realising that we're around and that they can come and join us. And we are open to anyone and everyone that wants to get involved. We've got, I say, 3 tiers. We have 3 different levels of cricket. We've got our Dragons team that play pairs.
Mm-hmm.
We've got our development team which play the same standard of cricket as this, but we play against ladies teams and friendlies to sort of give people the opportunities. And then we've got our sort of county first team that obviously play in the championship from that side. So there's a range of cricket for everybody, and we want to make sure that everybody's playing at a level that suits them and that they enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's sort of one of the key philosophies that we're sort of driving is, try, if that means expanding the team to make them bigger or making more teams, great, but it's just making sure that everybody can be involved.
Do you think the standard's getting stronger?
Definitely. When I first started, and I mean this with all due respect to every team that we play in the league, we were untouchable for season after season. Now we're not, and that's nice to see because it gives us a challenge. We're not walking to games. I mean, years ago we played a team, we bowled them out for 17. And 7 of those were extras. It's not fun for either team when you're going and doing that. We'd already put 200 and something odd on the board.
Yeah.
Like I say, we lost in the final last year to these guys. These guys have really pushed us to sort of step our game up and remind ourselves that we're not untouchable like any team isn't. And I think that just helps develop players and a mentality that's the right way to go. That's a nice ball. Sat up a bit.
It did. Stopped in the outfield. Kept it to a single.
I think one of the main differences for those who don't know is obviously we use the aero balls, the Incredibles, and the way they fly and the way they move can be quite different. They don't wear down like a standard cricket ball, but they do soften quite quickly.
Yeah.
And that can affect both the batter and the bowling perspective. And we've also split several balls over the years. If you can imagine,
Gone to the boundary.
that's a great shot. You imagine somebody like Jack hitting it like that every couple of balls, it's going to get a bit worn a bit quickly. So
Absolutely, yeah. Retrieved by Zach.
Yeah, it's a solid total on the board for this stage. I think it's good. Yeah, well fielded again to keep it to the single.
It's definitely keeping him busy over there.
Oh,
that
that's
one's
unlucky.
crept through. Unlucky. Definitely keeping that area of the field busy at the moment, aren't they? Oh, just loop safe. Let's pick up and throw that.
Ooh. Tight run though. Pressure was on there, so it's
Absolutely. Keeping the fielders on their toes.
good shot behind. Push for the second.
Productive over for Somerset there.
Again, they're not giving a lot of leeway, Gloucester, as you can see. You know, they're sort of right on top of it all the time, so
Absolutely.
just forcing those runs through when needed.
Absolutely. I'm going to bow out for a couple of overs. I'm going to pass you over to my colleague James. See you in a bit.
Oh, yeah, a pull.
Morning, Paul.
Morning.
Looks like a new bowler from the River End is Sam Britton, who started playing for Gloucestershire during COVID. Good young player and hit his first six last season as well. Let's see what he's like with the ball.
So you can see them changing that field where none of us are used to quite such a big boundary. It's nice. It gives us the opportunity to get involved today as well, which is great. So well watched. That's the thing we find in our game with people's ability levels is you watch how somebody comes in and then how they release the ball can be completely different to what you're expecting. And we get used to players obviously because we play them, you know, sort of season after season, but when they bring new guys in and youngsters, it's great to see. But say you see him charge in and
Takes a bit of getting used to a new action, yeah. Where are you meant to be batting today, Paul?
I probably won't. I'm a very, very low order batsman.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I always have been. When we used to play 11, 12 aside, I was in that 11 marker. It was three or four of us that used to sit down that bottom end, and
I know what that's like. Don't worry.
I think the sort of hope is that, you know, being involved with the development team, you know, the idea is to give people, myself included, that opportunity to bat somewhere a bit different, try and get some time in the middle and see if you can do it. You know, we've got a good structure here with sort of this squad, and we want to make sure, you know, obviously we're competitive in every game. So, as also touching on earlier, you know, we try and make sure there is their ability level and the opportunities for people to come and show what they can do. We've had guys that have played in the dev team last year who've then come up to the first and played a few games last season. So the opportunities are there. It's just giving people that time. And when you've got, you know, we got 16 of us here today, you know, you can't be doing that every game week in, week out, when we're, you know, our standard is 9 aside. Unless both teams agree, and you can go up to 11. Quick drink by the looks of it. It's a bit warm out there.
Yeah.
I think we're all glad the sun's definitely around. I think a lot of cricket's been missed already this season. I think.
Yeah, it's starting to feel a bit more like cricket weather now, isn't it?
We got our first league game next week, so we've got Wales at home, and then the dev team have got their first game the week after at Ilton. So it'd be nice if the weather sort of stuck around for the next couple of weeks and give us a chance to get some games in.
Yeah, absolutely.
See what the plan is now. Manager's had a quick word as he's brought drinks out, so we'll see where they head to now.
Looks like we've got Zach coming on to bowl from the Marcus Trescothick Pavilion end. That's a man that we know very well at Redcliffe. He's played with us for about 10 years now on a Saturday. For our sort of mainly our third teams, we play a couple of games for our seconds as well. So
Nice.
He's new to this side. I think this is his first year playing for the county side. So I think he's been looking forward to this day for weeks. So
Good. Yeah, he's not a face I recognise, so it's good again. Like I say, it's nice to see new players coming through. And again, solid fielding, keeping it down to those singles. They're two quick guys out there, to be honest. You know, if you give them the opportunity, they will take those seconds.
bit down leg side on that. Missed out on that one, I think.
It's a nice line, to be fair. It's keeping Nick sort of quiet, so it's the right thing to be doing.
Yeah, doing well against two sort of pretty set batsmen now.
Again, nice ball, nice line.
Yeah, good ball, well kept out. Just 3 runs off that over. .43 for 1 off 7. Is there a score when they have to retire the batsman at this?
There is in our normal game. I'm not sure what we've decided for today, if we have or not. In our standard game, you have to retire when you hit your 50.
Right.
And then you can come back at the end and get another 25 more tops. I think the key bit today was to make sure that obviously it's it's a good display of what we've got, and and from both sides, we want to make sure that we're. I think every county disability squad across the country will say, there's always room for people, and we want to show you guys that we do play a level of cricket that is a good standard. I think it's quite easy to have perceptions of what disability cricket looks like, and we've got a VI team as well from here as well, and they play a really good standard. Right. It's a good shot.
Nice looking drive.
Pushing for the 2.
That's a good stop, but yeah, they're going to get 2 for that.
Again, that's where the experience of these 3 sort of comes in. They know they're talking to each other all the time. They're aware of what's going on.
There's a few out on the flats balconies watching as well, enjoying a bit of sunshine, watching a bit of the cricket. Good save, good dive and stop again.
Yeah, we're quite lucky where we are at Taunton Dean as well, that we can sort of get people coming out of Ivory Park and see cricket going on and what's going on here. So it's nice, like you say, to see people out in the flats and stuff. And there's a few family and friends and stuff off to our right as well, so it's nice to see sort of people dotted around, which is good.
Yeah, hopefully this will be the first of many that get to play on sort of county grounds like this.
Yeah, it'd be good. I think one of the big driving points for us is, we feel lucky to have the badge on our chest. We want to sort of show Somerset in its best light. So anything that we can do to do that, and we're grateful, that obviously we get this opportunity to sort of show this as well.
That's well bowled again. That's another tidy over. That's another, just another 3 off that over. So that's these 2 sort of newer players for Gloucester have done one in the last 3 overs to sort of bring the run rate down a bit.
A couple of fielding subs by the looks of it. It's always odd when you're down on the field. It looks really congested, but sitting up here, you can sort of see see all the gaps.
Yeah, it's certainly a really long boundary down to sort of cover and through mid-wicket from this end, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, appeal from Zach.
Slightly down leg,
Just
maybe.
going down leg, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, good bit of fielding, good pickup.
Yeah, nicely picked up, thrown in.
Just keeping those runs down as well. So, from a Somerset perspective, obviously I'd like to see them ticking over, but it's eyes lit up them from Jack. You could see that. He's a solid player, Jack, but when he hits it, it does go, and sometimes, as you saw there, you got that little flicker that you just think it's going.
Mm. Yeah, he's hit a couple of nice shots already today. Looks like he's maybe getting a bit frustrated. He's looking to make big contact with another ball in a minute.
He's matured a lot over the last couple of years, this Jack. He's really sort of showed a different side to his game.
Got this one into a gap.
He has. It's gone through. Yeah, he's sort of shown that sort of, I'd say, that maturity in that side of it, that he's sort of calmed down, played the right shots at the right time, realised that he can hit it big. It doesn't mean he has to hit it big every time.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Being a batsman, picking the right moments and showing a bit of patience as well.
Yeah.
That brought the Somerset 50 as well at the end of the 9th over.
Bowling from the River End, Matthew Page.
Matthew Page is a new bowler, known for being a very consistent, reliable bowler.
So he pings it through. I've played against him a few times, and you sort of watch that ball come through. It does move at a bit of pace. Yeah, I thought Nick would. Tight two.
Like you say, they're
Running.
very quick between the wickets, aren't
Yeah.
they?
That's a good shot. Yeah, I think Nick's going to retire himself and bring John Tucker into bat.
It's also a time I'm going to retire myself and bring Emma back onto commentary and get someone who actually knows what they're talking about.
Hello.
Oh yeah, you right?
Good.
So John's a rather special player for us. John's been at the club 25 plus years, so he's one of our longest serving players.
Amazing. But he's very keen to get out to the middle, especially at this ground.
Nick Dean retiring out on 33. The new batter for Somerset, John Tucker.
Here we go. Looks like a change of bowler at this end as well.
Yeah, John's thing to me was this is the one thing he's always wanted to do was play on this county ground, so he's happy
There
now
we
with his
go.
career.
Amazing.
And he has played for England, so quite a few years ago now, but he has. So the fact that this for him was sort of a key point in his career was quite big for us today.
Wow, that's the amazing thing when you get given the opportunity to play on pitches like this. Has such an impact.
Good shot.
That's
three.
through. 4 runs. I might be a bit biased, but there's always something nice about a left-handed shot through the covers.
Yeah.
As a left-handed batter myself.
Yeah, I'm a lefty as well, so I can appreciate that.
Very fitting, Marcus Trescothic-esque.
Jack likes that shot. Is sort of one he uses fairly regularly if he can get on it.
Definitely. Ooh, a little bit follow that one. Well kept out.
What's that one in the air then?
Yeah.
I was like, where did that go?
I thought his eyes were lighting up and it just dipped and dropped onto his pad.
It's an interesting ball. It's a nice ball to use. You know, I suffer with broke bones, which is why I play as part of the team. And if it wasn't for this ball, I wouldn't be playing because a cricket ball for me would just be deadly. So it's a real big thing. But yeah, you do learn over the years that it will change.
Yeah, of course. Is it quite a lot lighter? It's quite bouncy.
Yeah, it can be. I think, you know, when I take the dev team, you know, we play against like Ilton Ladies and Street and stuff. And when I've gone there, I've thrown them a set of balls and said, just go in the nets for 20 minutes. And they've looked at me like I'm mad. I'm like, just go and try an incredible because they just move so differently.
Yes.
And like I say, it's when they soften up and they do soften up fairly quickly. But it doesn't ruin what they do. It's just, you know, it's softened up. So, you know, you've got to be a bit more. We always tell people, you don't hit an incredible, you push it.
Yeah.
If you belt that thing, it will go nowhere. And we played a team a few years ago or last year in a dev game, and they had a mix of youngsters, ladies, and some of their first team guys. And I said to him, "Don't belt it; it won't go anywhere." And this guy just laughed, and he absolutely welted it, and it just went nowhere. And he looked at me and went, "Okay, I understand now." And I said,
Yeah,
"You know,
I'm not lying when I think
it's
when
about
I tell you that.
yeah, it's about hitting it clean and hitting through that ball. You know, which is
Timing it.
it's a good technique anyway. It's something you want to be doing full stop. But
Definitely.
this ball will make you suffer if you don't do that."
Well bowled. The end of the over.
So John's above knee amputee. I know John really well. I would say he was the guy that got me into playing with these guys, and we've travelled together. We live near each other. You know, we've been good friends for a long time. So, and yeah, he's a good bowler, and you know, he classes himself as a batsman, but he can do everything really. He's just
Amazing.
he's kept for us in the past as
Yeah.
well. So he's
Looks like he's got a wealth of experience.
yeah, and I think he was our captain for quite a few years, and you know, we won a lot of titles during that time, and you know, I take a lot from him, say helping to run that dev team and sort of listening to his experience and just game situations that you wouldn't necessarily think of, especially with the disability game, where you know, you look at you know, your players' abilities and the players that you're playing, and sort of adjust your game based on that.
Yeah.
Which sounds harsh in one way, but you know, I think you'd do it in any sport if you know there's a weakness there. That's what you're going to infiltrate on, and that's a big part of this game.
Definitely, it's part of the tactical side of cricket. Got quite a heavy leg side field here.
Yeah, I get the feeling they feel Jack's going that way, which is surprising because, well, yeah, okay, if he's going to bowl that line, I can see why he's going that way. That's fair.
A little bit of extra protection over there.
If I'm honest, I can see Jack driving it towards that James Hildreth stand if he can get it on that offside.
If he gets the opportunity to. Just a touch wider, that one. Do you have varying ages within your team?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Jacob is 13, all the way through to say John, who's I won't tell his age on air. I think he'll kill me for that one. But you can work out if he's been with the club 25 years.
Yeah, of course.
Club started in '97, so
wow.
he's been around a fair while. Him and James Redwood, who we call Trigger, have sort of been two of the longest standing. Jules, who couldn't make it today, was actually one of the founding members of the club.
Amazing. And what other teams do you say? You say that you mentioned Wales?
Yeah, so we play Gloucester, we play Wales, as in Welsh Wales.
Yeah.
And we play Dorset. I had to think then. I should know that. It's all right. We've had a few. The way the league system works, we've had a few changes. So we've had Wiltshire against us before. And we've had Isle of Wight, which was always a bit of a trek. But you know, honestly, my very first game when I played was Isle of Wight, and we travelled over on the ferry.
Wow.
And it started to spit rain, and we thought, this is not good.
No. Oh no, not what you
Had
want.
12 overs of play, and then the heavens opened, and that was the end of my my debut match, which didn't involve me getting on the field at all because it was
raining. That's one of the difficulties with cricket. You know, you just, as soon as it rains.
Well, I say Taunton Dean have been amazing for us, but obviously they've had their problems in the past with floods and stuff, so it's hard, you know. And
Definitely.
But I also think a lot of grounds and stuff have become a lot more aware of the type of cricket. I say I'm a wheelchair user. I use a manual chair. Get on, John. Sorry, I just want to make sure he gets his single before he'll be happy now.
There we go. He's off the mark.
He's off the mark. Yeah, I've had grounds before that have, in my early playing days, that were very hesitant to let wheelchairs on the pitch because obviously where you've got the multiple creases, I field more or less a short mid wicket, and they didn't like the fact that the chair was on other creases, and the wickets. So, you know, it's a lightweight chair. It's not going to do that damage. But you know, in the early days, especially, it took a lot of groundsmen times to realise that, you know, we're not here to pull your pitch apart. We're here to play cricket, and
it's getting that awareness, that education about it, isn't it? Realistically, here we go. He's back on strike. Now that he's relieved the pressure a little bit.
Taking his,
we go. Just the single. Well chased down.
Again, James running for John just to keep more people on there.
I'm very impressed. I'd be very, very confused. They seem to have got it. I don't want to jinx anything, but it looks pretty seamless.
Digging through, yeah. It's just, it's funny enough, I literally just had a text message to say, waiting to see James come in from his half marathon, because, you know, this is James and Jack.
Racking up a few kilometres.
Yeah, bless them. They do a lot of effort, a lot of work. Yeah, on and off the field, and like I say, they put a lot of effort in to allow players like myself, who needs a runner, you know, to make sure that we've got the best options out there. So, yeah, it's not an easy task running for somebody else, definitely.
Yeah, just that awareness is amazing. But it's so good that it gives people the opportunity to have a really good opportunity to bat. A little bit wide, that one.
It's a nice line, that.
Very nice line. It's always a bit difficult when you've got a left hand and a right hand, trying to make sure your lines are consistent.
Yeah,
She's done well with that one.
Surprised at Jack for that. I thought he was gonna. I thought he was gonna have a go at them for a minute.
Gonna take advantage. That's the end of the over.
81.
81 for 1.
Quick drinks break by the looks of it.
Yeah, of
Chance
course.
to take a breather.
Yeah, it's very warm out there, I can imagine.
Yeah, I say we were out warming up earlier near the edge, and it was, yeah, I thought it was warm enough then. We all know that the middle's always a lot hotter than it is around the edge.
Definitely. Do you also have quite a few kind of rotational players that will come onto the field, or?
Sometimes it can depend on who's in the team, really.
Yeah.
You know, we always try and take a couple of subs with us, you know, just for that thing. You know, John's had it before where his legs become tired. Obviously, you know, he's got a lot of work to do on one leg. You know, some players, their concentration levels, they struggle to stay with us, and for their own benefit, you know, to make sure they continue to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I might bring them off for a couple of overs and get them back on when they're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is one of the sort of key things about the way we try and run the squad, and we talk to people and explain to them, you know, there is a chance that you may come off and this person may come on, or we're planning to do this, and try and be as open as we can to sort of make it as easy for those players to understand. And you know, we've got a mix here of you know, the two categories that we have are what we call PD, so physical disability, and an LD, so learning difficulty. So we've got guys out there with autism, and you know, and then you got through to Johnny and myself, you know, from a physical disability perspective. But we got, you know, those sometimes who, and they understand the game, but they don't necessarily understand why they might be not bowling at this point in time, and so on. And that's great, and that's all part of the game for us, is sort of making sure that we do our best to help them and understand, make sure that they're enjoying their day. But getting the best out of them when they're there and on the field. You know, we've got some guys that would bowl every over if you let them.
Of course.
You know.
Yeah, trying to get them to, it's for the greater good of the team, isn't it? To
Yeah,
make sure
exactly.
everyone gets the opportunity.
But we also want to see players enjoy the game. You know, that's sort of the big thing for us. You know, if you're out there and you're not enjoying the game, we've probably not got it right. And so that's where our sort of different levels of cricket sort of help to make sure that you're not, you know, you're not 13th man in the first team every week and doing nothing. You know, you can come and play in the dev team and get a bat and a bowl and show us what you've got. you know, it's such a big part for us about, you know, feeling like one club. Even though we've got 3 teams, we try and feel like one club rather than we've got 3 separate teams.
Yeah.
You know, our awards nights are all done together and stuff like
that's
that to
good.
try and make it so that, you know, we're all together, and it's been such a philosophy for us to sort of keep that family feel. You know, that's one thing that was said for a long time, was sort of this club feels like a family, and we're like, right, we don't want to lose that, and
Yeah.
and that's something that we are trying to push a lot still, and it's not always easy, and we're not always going to get it right, you know, but we try and be as open as we can, and we try and talk. You know, I'm on the committee as part of my roles, you know, and we have that conversation every committee meeting. You know, are we doing the right thing? Is it the right vision for the club? Is it the right vision for the players? And you know, like I say, we're not always going to get it right, but we're working on that. So
Of course. It's amazing. There's 3 teams for you.
yeah. I mean, when I started, you know, we had 13, 14 of us, and you know, we'd struggled. Yeah, we'd go 11-a-side games when I started. It was 11-a-side, 40 overs, no restrictions. You know, it was a really open game, and basically in 2013 they scrapped the league entirely, with the concept of trying to get more teams to play, and with all due respect, it didn't quite work. And then they brought it back as Super Nines, with trying to do 9-a-side again, with I think the intent of we'll have more teams with less players in them. What actually happened was most teams at the time had too many for one and not enough for 2.
I see.
So we sort of fell in that middle ground, and we've been really lucky. You know, the Lord's Taverner Super 1 stuff has been huge for us. It's brought us in a wealth of players, both for the Dragon squad all the way up through. And I think, again, that awareness and that visibility of cricket and that ability to be able to do that has been huge, and it's allowed us to develop into the 3 teams that we've got. And like I say, I talk about the 3 teams, but obviously we've got the visually impaired guys as well. I don't know a huge amount about them, but we've got guys that used to play for us that now play for the VI because they were visually impaired when they were, or are visually impaired. So, and they've got their own pathways, and they're a really good solid team. So. But yeah, it's nice that we've managed to expand into 3 teams, and I think this year for the dev team we're actually looking at probably 11, 12 regular dev team players rather than the 8 or 9 that we had last year, and we topped it up with a few first teamers to sort of keep it running. So and I think the more awareness that people have got is that we've got those levels, and I don't want to necessarily call them levels because they're not, they are fluid, but that the ability,
you can have complete beginners,
yes,
as well
100%. And if we feel that they're in the wrong team, we move them and we bring them. You know, I've had guys that have come out of the Super 1s. That's a shot, Jack.
Lovely shot.
Oh, it's unlucky fielding wise.
Didn't quite get hold of that one in the field. Excellent dive.
Yeah, we've had guys come out of the Super 1s that have come straight into the dev team because we felt that maybe the Dragons cricket isn't for them. And that's the thing, we've got experienced coaches and so on that are looking at players rather than just saying we'll bring them here and show that they've got to work their way. If it's not suited for them, then we see where we can put people.
Of course, interchangeable.
Going to sit a bit tighter to that boundary line now. And he's going to
Shot.
go the other side.
Oh. That was in the air. Just dropped through the fielder's hands.
It's a good effort because that ball was moving.
Was a very good effort, up over his head. They've come back for 2. Have a little coming round the wicket. Oh no, over the wicket. Lovely shot, straight down the ground. Fielder cuts it off. Back for 2.
Ooh. Grounded his bat luckily because
Yeah, got excited there.
He did
Eyes
a little
lit
bit.
up. if he'd made contact with that. That would have.
I think, yeah, that was moving. Like that.
There we go.
That's a
Well
good start.
fielded. Excellent fielding. Oh, and a
Cool.
direct hit. Look at that. Just the single. Oh, retiring?
Thinking about.
Well,
Oh, he's going to switch the runner, is he?
oh, I see.
Give Jim a bit of a rest. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I think what they're going to do, if I'm reading this correctly,
Yep.
is yes, retire Jack, bring Josh on, and put Jack to run for John.
I see.
Again, bit of a shuffle round.
I see.
So, Josh joined us last season, came into my dev team, hit 38 off 32 balls, and I went, I think we need to look at which team he sat in. He only lost his leg just over a year ago.
Oh, really?
And he was saying to me he played cricket for a while and then stopped playing because he went working and couldn't play. Played tennis to quite a high level, and then decided that he might try and come back to cricket. And I think it's been an experience for him as well. Like I say, he's a below knee amputee.
Yeah.
So you can sort of see, and when you see him running, you will see that he's still got his knee joint because he does move. He's probably one of the fastest amputees I've seen in a cricket game, for example. Yeah, you look at Johnny hobbling over there, a bit different, but then the type of amputation's different.
Of course.
But yeah, Josh he's a PE teacher, so he likes his sport. Yeah, he's definitely been a good experience, but I think he's found his stamina levels and so on quite different from how he used to be, and I think again he's learning that, and again that's part of the thing that we're here to support with, reminding him that he doesn't need to go hell for leather every time, if he...
There's not an expectancy to be hitting that same level.
No, he bowled a bit in the final and did really well, but then tired himself out to the point that he couldn't field, and we're like, that's what we're sort of learning, but he's newer to his legs, so it's going to take some time getting used to that. A lot of us, like myself, have had our condition since we were born. We know our limits. He's still learning, and Johnny had it. He said to me he had it when he lost his leg in a bike accident.
Oh, really?
And he said, he had to learn quite quickly what he could and couldn't do, and the leg that he's got affects how he is as well. So. I can't say I've seen this guy bowl before, so he's whipping it through at a fair pace.
Yeah.
Off a short run up as well.
Quite quick. Oh, well bowled. Very full. Well kept out.
I think it's always interesting, especially sitting up here and seeing it, is when I've come to watch like the Somerset County men's, and you look at how close our wicket keeper is, or their keeper is, and ours won't stand hugely different. And then you watch the able-bodied game and you see how far back they're stood. And then that's not necessarily a detriment. It's just about
interesting
how the game is
observation.
played. And
Well played.
just need to not force it from Josh's perspective. I think he's sort of looking for that run already. It's just get your eye in a minute. And
Yeah.
I know it's a short format game, but I always say to people, spend the first over here, get your eye in,
Yeah,
make sure you're
have a look.
settled before you start. You've got the ability to have a go, but just make sure that you're seeing it before you start having a go.
Definitely. Always difficult in this instance when you've come up to bat, you're at the county ground. It's always a bit nerve-wracking, and you end up putting that pressure on yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Ooh.
what?
That's a nice shot. He's looking for that
excellent.
second.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quick turn and go. That was
Yeah, I say he's
Very
got
quick.
some pace on him as
Very
Josh when
quick.
he wants to move.
determined for that too. No
say
No question about it.
No, on the first games, like I say, he played for us. He came to a dev game. I can't remember exactly where we were, and I saw him chase a ball down to the boundary and stop it, and went, "Okay, you've got some pace on you." Like, he's with the right person because Jack will go with him.
Yeah. Well bowled, well stopped.
That was a lovely ball. That's a great stop from the keeper, considering how that
flew,
whipped through.
Flew through. I'm going to swap back in for the last 5 with Matt.
Yeah.
5 overs to go. Somerset are 95 for 1.
Oh, game's moved on a lot since I disappeared.
So yeah, I think both teams would. Yeah, we'd obviously like to see that well over the 100 mark, but I think Gloucester have done well to sort of pin back a little bit in the last couple of overs. So we'll see what the two guys can do now.
What would you like off the last 5, really?
I'd like to see that score somewhere around that 120, 130 mark is probably where, and that's probably what Nick said is, at this point in the game, that's probably where he's looking.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the ability there to do it. It's just, it's a game of cricket, isn't it? We all know it can go one way or the other. That's a good shot from John.
It's nicely put
That's
away.
going to go.
Absolutely.
There we go. Another landmark for him. We can say he hit a boundary on the county ground, so we'd be happy with that.
I must admit, this is a bit split for me because I was born in Keynsham, so I am actually a Gloucester fan. Sorry, a Somerset fan. Even with my Gloucester hat on today.
Yeah.
So my dad would kill me if I said I was a Gloucester fan, but there you go. It was really interesting listening to the back of the commentary box about how the guys come to play cricket again, and the stories you were saying. It's great that the involvement level's creeping up.
Yeah, and you say that's sort of the key message, and I think I sort of echo that from across the country. Not just as Somerset. That we want people to be involved. We've had a lot of conversations recently. A little bit of confusion there. I was just worried Jack was going to. He was on his way down the crease. I think there's a lot of stigma and stuff around disabilities and the way things are, and I think sort of from my perspective, I was lucky. My parents brought me up in and I used the phrase as loosely as possible, as normal a life as possible.
Yeah.
I went to a mainstream school, and that's not suitable for everybody, and that's fine. But I think from our perspective with cricket and the way we want everybody to be able to turn up and be involved. It's unlucky there from the fielder. It's just beaten.
Just cramped through.
And I think it's the same with any sport. We want people to come and enjoy it and be involved, and we understand. I'm not going to be opening the batting anytime soon. I haven't been for years, but I know where I sit and I know where I am in the game, and I know what my role is, and I think that's the key bit for us, is just making sure that anybody can come back and like I say, Josh played cricket when he had both legs, loved it, and thought, well, can I come back? And a lot of people don't realise that there is the option there.
At the end of the day, cricket is a game for all, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
There we go. That's Josh being cheeky. They're going to cut that off.
Fantastic effort for the keeper to beat the fielder.
I was going to say, yeah. But again, that sort of shows a prime example of the mobility levels. You've got two guys out there with very similar disabilities.
Yeah.
And like I say, and I was talking to John about this a lot, about Josh's stuff, and said him having his knee joint immediately changes him compared to John, who hasn't got his. So John's got to trust that his leg's going to come through. He's got to trust that the the technology works.
Mm-hmm.
Josh has got his knee. He's just the shin side of it is there and holding. So, he's got that mobility to hop and skip. I joked with John a long time ago that he runs faster sideways than he does forwards. We like to have a laugh with each other, and obviously there's a limit, and it's making sure that we're acceptable and suitable. But we're all friends, and I get told to jump on a regular basis, and as a wheelchair user, we're not going to be doing that very often. But then we used to play against a team where their wicket keeper was a wheelchair user. He'd sit on the edge of his seat and he'd throw himself at the ball, literally throw himself out of the chair, and it would take 3 players to put him back in the chair every go, but he would do that. And so but the fact is that's how it worked for him, and that was the way his game worked.
Yeah.
But he was also a batter that would hit it back over your head, and it would be going for 6. And John said to me, "Why can't you do that?" I said, "Well, we're 2 different players." But but it is about say that showing our abilities. Cool, that's a good shot.
Blimey.
I know it's such a cliche, and it is such a cliche. That there's no disability; it's ability. And I think a lot of people, we've had this conversation recently around phrasing and wording, and I think it's for me, we have disabilities, but that doesn't stop us. You're seeing that today, that the guys have got every opportunity to play a game of cricket. Scores well over 100 now.
Yeah.
For this sort of level, that's a solid standard.
Absolutely.
The bowling's been solid. You've not seen that bobbly ball that bounces 6 times and rolls wrong. You're getting good paced balls. And
Absolutely. You're getting shots from all around the wicket as well. So
Yeah.
the level is there for sure.
I think that was the big thing for us, wearing the badge, is making sure that we are showing Somerset in a good light. And the same for Gloucester, and you sort of say every side across the country that plays, that's a shot.
That's a heck of a shot.
So,
See what you were saying about the ball, though. It just
it just dies.
stopped.
Yeah. And when I was out there earlier, obviously we've had a level of rain. It's not, it's still a slight damp out there.
Mm-hmm.
That ball will stop. It will just die if it's not skimming like a stone. If it hits the ground and it's soft.
Yeah.
That's the end of it. And we've had that when bowling as well. You've had a ball dip low that you expected to pop up, and you've prepped yourself for it to pop, and it doesn't. It's quite a difference, but yeah, and also looking at it, I say we play off a 30-40 yard boundary normally.
Yeah.
So as well, a shot like that for John on a normal game would be heading its way. That's a great shot.
It's a lovely straight bat.
That's where John's experience and knowledge comes in.
It's a cheeky too as well.
Was, yeah.
Oh.
Got away with that one, Johnny. That was unlucky. It's come back at a hell of a
Sure,
pace.
if you put that down as a drop catch or self-preservation.
Well, 6 one, half a dozen the other, I
Absolutely,
think.
yeah.
Again, they might be a softball, but trust me, they hurt. I've seen a few bruises after games that have come off.
It's nicely played.
We had a guy who played for us for years called Pete Buchanan. He only had one arm, and I mean the guy was a monster bowler. The pace he could get off a ball, and he hit the inside leg of the leg of our wicket keeper in a training session, and I've never seen anybody's thigh go so black so quick. It just, I say they might be a soft ball, but when they hit you at pace,
Yeah.
they still hurt.
How often do you train?
What we normally do is we start sort of early April time. We train for sort of 8 weeks through until the season starts. So say our first games next week, and then we run through till August, We've only got, we have 6 games that we play throughout the season. So, and then what we've managed to do is get the dev team the same amount of games. So literally we're sort of toing and froing between weekends, which is nice. And then obviously events like this help out. And, you know, if we can do training games in between against other sides that want friendlies, you know, we're always open to that. You know, it's been quite interesting. We've played under 13s teams that have given us a really good challenge. We've played ladies teams. We've played Taunton Dean ladies, and we've got you know, we've played them indoors and outdoors, and that's been quite a challenge. You know, it's about, again, it's a good experience for them, and it's a good experience for us because it's a good level, and it keeps us sort of, you know, fairly even. You know, we're not going to come out here and face the Somerset First men's. You know, it's to be fair, we had it years ago. So Dan Hodges was a massive part of this club. We sadly lost Dan in 2012, and we do what's called Dan's Day every year, which is like our club day.
Brilliant.
And the very first year that we did it, Dan had actually coached here, so he coached people like Marcus Trescothick and you know, Jack Leach came over, Max Waller came over, you know, and we ended up having a sort of a 2020 game with those guys against us, which was quite an experience.
It was a challenge, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Jack Leach bowling back then, and you know, he was good then, and lo what he is now, and you know, it was a really good day. It was a sort of, and it's something that we hold every September at Taunton Dean. You know, we sort of hold that day, and it is a club day. It's about bringing the Dragons up and letting them have a game, and our dev team mixing with our first. So we either do it against another team or coaches and parents, and you know, make a sort of real thing about it. And we've got a little cup that we do, you know, so we try and make it a, you know, again, not just a club day from the perspective of what it is, but that's a good bit of fielding.
Well fielded. It's keeping everybody involved, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Giving everybody an opportunity.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is it's sort of remembering those that have been such a fundamental part of the club. You know, one of Dan's big ethos is, you know, we're sort of going back to what we were talking about before about, you know, not seeing, you know, just seeing ability. Dan
That's gone through nicely.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dan was definitely one of those sort of advocates for everybody's got the ability. Let's just find out what that is and what that is for you. And that's sort of the sort of thing that we've tried to keep as the backbone of our club ever since is, you know, ensuring that that's the case. And, you know, a lot of us that have been here a long time, myself, and I think, you know, sort of Nick was with Dan for a season or two and stuff. You know, John's definitely been around and Trigger and so on. And we don't forget that. And even though we've had new players come in and youngsters come in, we try and redrive that original message in that, you know, we're here to represent and do what we do.
That's another 4.
You see Josh moving now. He's got himself up and going. But yeah, it's nice, and like I say, it shows that. And you know, so one of the conversations we had with Josh when he came back was, you know, I just want to be involved. Yeah. And we were like, yeah, great. You know, come on in, let's see what we can do. And yeah, we played games. We played Wales last season, and you know, a prime example was we finished the game, the league game, and they still had a player or two left. And we said to them, well, why don't you come out and bat for an over or two, and we'll just bowl at you, and you know, we'll still play as if it's the game, but we stop scoring. You know, and it's about making sure that everybody gets that side of it. You know, we played the game competitively, and we did what we needed to do, and then sort of turned around afterwards and said, look, we've still got some time. You've got some time. You know, should we make the most of it? So,
yeah, I must admit, I've been captain for Zach, who plays for Gloucester at the moment, and I've captained him for probably the last 10 years. We've had a couple of games where teams have invited him out to bat if he hasn't had a chance to. It's really good. He thoroughly enjoyed it. He's very apprehensive about cricket when he started. Yeah, this is his first season with the development side, and he came running across me at the car park today, telling me what he was going to do.
Brilliant.
And, you know, how much it's helped him progress. Yeah. And feel more confident. And
yeah, definitely.
And Andy sat behind me, who's his carer now, and yeah, I think you can see the marked difference in him just from his cricket more than anything else.
Definitely, and it's such a big part. Like we say, you know, it's great that people want to play, but we want to see people progress and develop in themselves. You know, we've had similar stories with some of our youngsters that, you know, You know, Meg's a prime example. She's not here today, but she plays for Taunton Dean Ladies. You know, she turned up first couple of training sessions, didn't say a word, wouldn't speak to anybody, and now I hear her out on the field giving a stick. You know, and it's nice because that's what you want. You want that confidence and you want that level of you know, thing to be able to come out and be part of the team.
Yeah.
You know, we'll hold ourselves to a standard, but at the same time, you know, it's about developing people as well. You know, and you know the amount of young lads that we've had that have, you know, their parents have said, oh, you know, they're so talkative at home and they can't wait for the next game and they can't. Brilliant, that's what we want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it shows that, you know, we've got it right, and like I say, we're not always going to get it right. But if people are enjoying the game, then whatever happens on the field kind of doesn't matter. From the perspective of individuals' development and sort of playing side, obviously we all want to win, and we're obviously out there to win. But you know, like you say, if you've got youngsters that are excited and happy to be here, and change a bowler. Oh no, return, isn't it?
Yeah.
Two overs left.
You've hit your 120 mark quite comfortably.
Nearly on the 130 mark. I was probably a bit underestimating us a little bit.
If Josh gets going, you could be looking at 150.
It could be, yeah. To be fair, if John gets going, because if John connects, it goes generally. It's and with him and Jack running, you know, you don't.
Oh.
See, this is again, you know, and this is the problem I have is I can't step out onto a ball from a chair user's perspective, and John's got that. You know, his leading leg is his real leg. And his back legs is artificial, so for him to step out onto it, he's got a risk, because once he's out, he's not going back. That's a good shot.
Gone
Oh, that's unlucky.
Unlucky. Banging the floor in frustration, but under a great effort.
Yeah, John and Josh both trying to keep up with each other. You know, both sat there on 19. You sort of, if I can do it, so you can do it, so can I. So
it's a personal battle now, isn't it?
just a loose one. That's a nice ball, and John will
just short of
good
the
stop.
Push through for the single. I must admit, it took me an over or so to realise there wasn't an extra ball for.
Yes, yeah. So we do 2 runs for any wides and extras until the last over, and then we will get the extra ball in the last over. Again, that was a change that they made. So we've got in our sort of Super 9s league games. Shot. Yeah. So there's a couple of restrictions in our game. You retire at 50. You can come back and to get 75 at the top. But if you take 3 wickets, you have to stop bowling as well, even if that's mid-over. You can't complete your over. And we have had somebody do that in their first over. And then just the only other real restriction is just
another 4.
Fielding. Yeah, he's found his eye now. Just offside, no closer than 11 yards from the fielding perspective. So, and a lot of that again is for safety.
Yeah. One over to go. I think we have to reassess the target again.
I was going to say it's a. shattered. Bless
He
him.
has been out there for quite a while.
He has, yeah.
Seems a long time ago that wicket fell.
It does, yeah. It was fairly early, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, last wicket 13. Yeah. So yeah, it was.
So here we go then. Last over. I'll grab a prediction now before they start. Come on the spot.
160.
Okay.
Because if they both catch it, it's going. That might be the only bit that changes that prediction.
Dot ball first up.
Jack's got a tight single to run. That's okay. I think we'll see Josh walking down the crease a little bit.
I was
here.
going to say, this probably will be Josh's chance to really have a pop.
Yeah, I think so.
That is a very well spread field, I must admit. That's straight.
And that's, yeah,
And 4.
straight through.
Must admit, I think Gloucester working on the premise, he's not going to hit much on the offside.
Yeah, I would go with that as well, looking at the field, yeah. I guess they feel if the ball's cutting across, he's going to be looking down the leg side, but
Yeah. Just the way he's seeing it at the moment, there's nothing to say he's going to step down and play inside.
no.
That's straight, and that is out.
Out.
Well held.
To be fair, it's not a bad innings from him.
I think you'd probably take that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just a bit. I say it's a fair knock from him, so I'll take that.
Absolutely.
Who have we got coming out? Yeah, if that's who I think it is, that's George Fox Reed.
Two balls to go.
It's another young man who's grown in confidence since he's been with us and showing a different side, so yeah, it's George, I thought it was.
Very impressed with those black pads.
They're nice, aren't they? He wicket keeps mainly, so he likes his black pads.
Josh Pritchard was caught by Berger off the bowling of McGrath for 31. The new batter for Somerset, George Fox Reed.
Yes, George.
Nice shot
Good
to get off the
shot.
mark. Just a single, but
That will do.
Absolutely.
Good lad. Nice to see him get a single as well. I'd say it's been nice to see everybody that's come out has put something on the board, which is lovely.
He's got it. Oh, that's 4.
And that's
4 off the
gone.
last ball. So the 150's up.
I was a little bit short of my prediction, but we'll take it.
Certainly a challenging target.
Definitely. See if we can go and defend that now. That will be the challenge.
Absolutely. It's only half the job done.
Yes, very true.
Time for a quick drink. Reassess what you're going to do.
Head back out.
At the conclusion of their 20 overs, Somerset make 153 Gloucestershire by 154 for victory.
Brilliant. Well, I'm going to take my leave, go back and join the guys and see
Been a pleasure.
if I end up. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for your insight.
No problem.
For those of you keeping an eye on things up welcome back our umpires, Alan Ritchie and Dick Allen. Somerset side, led out by captain Nick D. The opening batters for Gloucestershire, Peter Hale and Ben Wentworth, who open the bowling for Somerset from the
Right, and we are back for the second innings. It's a very attacking field. Everyone in.
Everyone in the circle.
That wide ball to relieve a little bit of pressure for Gloucestershire first off. Just drifting down.
Quite a good line for left-handers here.
Yeah. You always say that. The third time lucky. That's much better. Well bowled. Caught the keeper by surprise as well.
That was a very quick buy there, wasn't it?
It was.
Looks like we've got Ben Wentworth batting for Gloucestershire on strike now, and at the other end, Peter Hale, the wicketkeeper, keeps with the pairs team, and he's been playing for the team for quite a few years, committed season all-rounder. Chasing this target of, well,
It's a very
7.5
good-
and over, isn't it?
Yeah, very good target. We're going to have to keep up with that run rate if they can. Oh,
Oh.
it's gone up. Ah, dropped just short. Got away with that one. Somerset putting pressure. Lots of pressure on the batters.
Yeah, they're looking like they wanted to try to cut down any quick singles early, don't they?
Exactly, they are
They've
hot on it. They are in there. They are
got a
stuffing
complete ring
any of those
field.
runs. Yeah. Well fielded. Just the one. Okay. Ending the over. 6 runs.
6 from it, just the one off the bat.
Might be a few nerves out there.
You'd imagine so. I imagine this is, well, I would be if I was back playing
Yeah,
there anyway, that's for sure.
I'd be, yeah. I'd be very nervous.
Thank you very much. My butler's just brought me a nice cup of tea.
Very hard not to put pressure on yourself as a batter, especially when chasing.
Yes, yeah.
Setting's not as bad. You kind of steer the ship, but yeah, you've had it set for you for chasing. Just reconfiguring their field. There we go. Oh, great stop.
That's a great diving stop there.
Excellent. That's the standard. Two good dots.
Struggling to get it through the ring field at the moment, aren't they? Seems like it started very lively in the field.
Lots of pressure. They are on it. And again, the dot. Excellent lines and lengths from this bowler.
Just past the outside edge of that last ball. Nothing off a 4 ball so far, on from Maiden.
Excellent pressure. The dot. It's another fielder. Oh, just up and over the fielder. For one.
Just a one-off, really, really good over that, keeping
Excellent
the pressure on.
over.
That required run rate's going to be shooting up in no time.
It is. The added pressure, the fact that you can see it on the board.
Yeah.
It's always going to make it difficult, especially when you want to try really hard to match that run rate. That was an excellent over. Just drifting down on the leg side there. Wide ball. Wow, much better line.
Our man Paul seems to be front and centre out of that, doesn't he?
He does.
Directing traffic and getting into the hotspot areas.
He is.
Close
He's
to the bat.
Yeah, he's in the thick of it there. That pressure.
Shot well fielded again.
Well stopped. That looked quite awkward. It was bobbling up to the fielder and they got their body behind it. Oh, just up and over for a single. Oh. Just snuck past the wicketkeeper there for a bye.
Very quick run in these buys, haven't they?
They are. Oh.
They've just gone for the run straight away, which always helps. If you go straight away, I always think there's always a run.
Hesitation is where you go wrong.
It's probably something they're going to have to do as well. And you think if you're going to chase these down, because Somerset were pretty speedy between the wickets. There's a lot of twos out there, weren't there, today?
Definitely. They're going to have to take every run they can get.
That's another over gone. 11 for
Another
none
over
off of
done.
3.
Steady start for Gloucestershire at the moment.
Yeah.
Been quite tough with when these opening bowlers have bowled it on the money. Tough for them to get it away, and with the attacking field position, it's been difficult for them to find a gap.
The fielding's been on the money so far. Haven't let any extras go through at all, really.
No.
They get the pressure on.
Diving stops there.
Yeah.
They've been excellent. Another dot ball. Well bowled.
Play a miss there.
Yeah. It's that pressure.
I feel like something's building up. Something's going to have to give in a minute, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I think
There's some big shots coming, and
something's going to have to give either way.
Yeah. We just don't know which way yet.
Oh,
Can't wait, a bit of hesitation, but they're
just
going to be through
managed
for
to
a
get
single.
it past slip. Trying to get it away. Another dot. See the effort that's getting put into these shots. They want to hit it hard. They want to get it away, but it's just
Yeah, the lines have been too tight.
Yeah, the line has been too tight. They just cannot get it away.
There's no loose balls, nothing
No.
wide, has there, or anything
Haven't been given
dropped in
anything.
too short.
Haven't been given anything at all. And again, another dot.
Oh, brilliant
There
caught
we go.
bowl.
There's that release. Something was going to give.
It was coming.
It was coming. That pressure was building to that. Excellent caught and bowled.
Excellent stuff, yeah. But sort of pressure got to Ben Wentworth. Then you feel he had to sort of try and get on with it, and that's what he tried to do there, but
Yeah.
didn't get enough on it. And it's a really, really good catch from the bowler actually coming through.
Exactly. Excellent. Unfortunate. Just couldn't get anything from that. That was the end of the over. Excellent way to finish the over. 12 for 1 or 4. There we go. Looks like Paul's bowling now.
This will be interesting to see. See if he's as good at the game as he can talk.
I was going to say his commentary was excellent.
Yeah.
So, I've got high hopes for his bowling.
Yeah.
New batter is Henry Polly into bowl from the markers just got the pavilion end, Paul Lewis.
Still sticking with a very attacking field.
Yep, he's resisted the temptation to push anyone back
Yeah,
at all at
there's
the moment.
no-
He's kept
they,
everyone's within the ring.
Oh, they've just let Josh. Just a little
Just
bit
edged back.
just a little bit of security out on the leg side. Well run. That was a quick single.
It's quite a tight run, yeah.
It was. Luckily, he was running to the danger end.
Probably the sort of run they got to take on, trying to chase down
Definitely.
this total, wasn't it?
They got to get as many runs as they can. Got to capitalise on it.
There's a new batter on strike now. It's Henry Polly,
Left-hander.
another lefty. Got a slip in for the new batsman as well.
Good dot.
It's been good stuff from Paul so far, isn't it?
It
Getting right
has,
up to the
it
bat.
has. Excellent lines and lengths. Oh,
Bit
mix
of
up.
confusion with the runner.
Oh, he's back safe.
It's just that added bit of confusion when you've got
I
a
can
runner
have-
involved as well,
yeah.
isn't it? It's another sort
My
of
hat-
line
hat-
of communication you've got to deal with.
My hat went off to Somerset. I think they did it so seamlessly. They just knew exactly what their roles were. Oh,
It's gone high in the air, it's going to be
it
safe.
has dropped safe, chasing it. But oh, they've come back for 2.
And it's
then-
well run.
There we go. Over
It's a dot ball
bowled.
to finish the over. Still pretty hard to score any runs out there, it looks like.
I think so. I think they've just changed. They've just changed the batter, I think.
Yeah, looks like Gloucester shuffling the pack slightly here.
It's always difficult to keep tabs on it when you've got runners and things.
It's quite all action, isn't it?
It is. I think that runner needs to be at the crease. Oh, he's happy to stay out there. It's a change of bowler from the top end.
Bit of bounce.
Yeah, I've noticed that the ball is quite bouncy.
Yeah.
Paul was saying it's a little bit softer than a cricket ball, but can still definitely bruise you like one.
Yeah, it does seem to go as well if you make decent contact with it. Just
Well bowled.
it's a nice little line just outside off stump. A little corridor of uncertainty.
Should I go? Should I not? And with a slip in, it's always a bit risky.
It's certainly Somerset keeping the attacking field in place, aren't they?
They are. Just a little bit of security on the leg side.
Push onto the leg.
Single.
I must admit, I've not seen a game before where both runners were off the pitch. It was trying to find batsmen at one point then.
Yes. As well as having to think about batting, you've got to think about runners, and there's lots to think about.
And a quick single.
Oh, direct hit. Somerset are fielding very, very well, very tight in the field.
Yeah,
Lots of
certainly.
pressure.
Certainly keen, aren't they?
They are.
This scorpial pressure really is starting to mount for Gloucester here.
It is.
So how's your season going so far? Have you started in earnest yet or not?
The weather has not been kind.
I can imagine.
I think I've played 2 games, two for different teams. So MCC stuff has started. So I've got another MCC match on Tuesday.
Brilliant. Where's that? Local?
Malvern College.
That's not too far.
Not too far. So the one previously I was, we have like a round robin tournament almost between Millfield Kings and Blundell's School.
Yep.
So I was down in Blundell's at the end of April, and then I've had one club match, but it was a T20 competition club match against Frenchay. So just hoping now that the weather stays dry, so more cricket can be played.
It's not been the kindest of starts for sure, weather-wise, but
No,
hopefully things will continue to improve.
I really hope so, because now is April's always a little bit touch and go, but now we're into May. Hoping for blue skies and no rain.
Try and top that tan up somehow.
Yeah, get those dodgy tan lines back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh,
Just short of the fielder.
good bit of flight there. It's a good single. Oh, they've come back
Oh,
for
they've come
two.
back for a second.
Oh my
Very cheeky. I
goodness.
think a direct hit and it would have been trouble.
Yeah. Taking that chance. That's what the run rate's doing to them.
When it
They've
creeps,
got to get
yeah.
those runs. Oh,
he's out.
all happened so quickly. Oh, bold.
Trapped him on the crease.
Good. Polly's gone for 5. Gloucestershire are 19 for 2. Well, that pressure generation will do to you. So it just looks like the runner is now the next
Absolutely,
batter.
yeah.
Makes a lot of sense when they do it that way. Just as the next batter.
Speeds the game up a bit, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
Henry Polly was LBW to Paul Lewis for 5. The new batter, Brandon Berger.
Brandon Berger at bat now. Been reliably informed that he's playing at quite a good standard for his club, so
Oh,
it should be
I see.
quite interesting to see.
It's a shot. Well fielded.
Excellent piece of fielding.
fielding on the boundary. Just the one. Well, you could see from the field placement as soon as he came up to bat, they dropped mid on and mid off.
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted him on strike.
I got a feeling, yeah, a single was not a bad move.
Yes.
For Somerset there.
the better option. Just a touch wide.
Was a bit of a harsh call from the umpire.
I
there.
did think
thought
that.
was
On the line.
certainly pushed up there, but I didn't think that was wide. But what do we know?
Shot. Chase down, just
Tucked
for
around the
one.
corner. Yeah. Oh,
Always looking for that second run.
yeah. Thought of a second, but immediately sent back. Seven overs gone. Gloucester a little bit behind the 8 ball here. 23 for 2.
Somerset in a very, very strong position here. Just keeping that pressure on. Yep, just the one fielder outside the ring.
So it seemed to have a game plan here for sure.
Mm. Oh, bold. Not much you can do with that one.
No, immediately straight on the money. Again, just teasing on that off stump line. 3 in a row. Not much you can do about that.
No. It's one of those things. You don't really want to leave it in T20 cricket, but it's a dangerous area there.
Excellent over so far.
Definitely. You can already see that almost hesitation from the batter. Should I? Shouldn't I? Is that a run? That's when problems happen.
Ooh. A little bit of width, tempting.
Yes. I can imagine as a batter you'd be very frustrated. Hard to keep composure.
It's the trouble when somebody's bowling so tight like that, and then all of a sudden they give you something a little bit wider outside the off stump. You invariably want to go and chase
Yes.
it. So
Jump onto it. Excellent over.
it was a maiden, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. 23 for 2. Off 8 overs. Looks like we've got a change of bowlers this end.
Ball from the Marcus Trescothic Pavilion and Seb Menko.
I recognise Seb. I think he used to play in the Bath youth setup. Good to see him here at the county ground. There we go. You just see they've just dropped mid on, mid off. Just out.
Just a couple back.
Yes. There we go. Oh, well, stop.
Fantastic piece of fielding.
One-handed diving stop.
Absolutely
Excellent.
fantastic. And a near run out as well.
Wowee, that was incredible. What a stop. There we go. There's that plan coming together. Give the single.
Certainly bowling to his field at the moment.
Yeah, give the single, get the other batter on strike.
Certainly looks like Brandenburger favours down the pitch, down the ground, sorry.
Yes. There we go, everyone's back in other than on the leg side. Excellent lines.
Just trying to squeeze, keep the pressure on as much as they can.
They are. Seems to be working.
Well bowled.
Oh. Well bowled. Ball is in the game here, he's ready.
Nothing happening there.
Good fielding, even put pressure on the non-striker's end, just in case he's out of his crease.
Last ball of the over. That's where you don't want to really take a single.
No.
The way the batsmen are at the moment.
taking it. Oh. A wrong run.
What's wrong with it?
That was a tight single, that. That's the end of the over. .27 for 2 off 9 overs.
11 overs remaining. Gloucester needing quite a lot. 127 to win.
127 off 11 overs. That run rate is increasing. That required run rate.
12 from the river end, James Redwood.
New change. New bowler on the other end. Scamper through for a single.
Single early, see if the field spreads out a bit.
Yeah, see if they change it around. They've really been putting pressure on Britain at the other end. Yeah, you've just seen that. Mid-on's just out of the ring, as is mid-off. You can see what they're doing here. And on either side. Mid-wicket is right out on the boundary.
He's picked him out.
And that's why. Oh, they've come
Gone
up for
2.
2.
Run on the misfield. Comfortably back.
Good cricket all round. That's an excellent shot.
Clubbed away for 4. Relieves the pressure slightly.
Definitely.
Still need a few more of those to bring
Is that the
themselves
first
back
ball?
into the game a bit.
That's not the first ball we've had this innings. I think it might be.
Quite possibly.
Just a little pressure release there. Oh, straight to the fielder. Oh, they've managed to get through for a single. Putting pressure on that field.
Absolutely. Just keep the scoreboard ticking over. It's really all Gloucester can do at the moment.
Both batters do seem to be on the same page with running though, which is good. You know, if they're going to go for it, they're going to get it.
Oh.
Oh,
It was a good stop in the end.
that was an excellent stop.
Again, another direct hit.
Direct hit from the fielder
Somerset
there.
definitely been practicing.
So accurate. That's that standard just shining through.
Absolutely.
There we go, another little change of the field. Just covering that spot he hit the 4 in.
Again,
Oh, well stopped. Well
another
stopped.
fantastic piece of fielding on the boundary.
And throw. Excellent throw in. Come back for the second run.
Better over for Gloucester there.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, James. How are you?
Not too bad. Good game for Gloucester to win from this point, I'd say.
I think that's been Gloucester cricket's idea for most of the season.
A bit of news from the men's side have scored the first batting point for the season, though, so that's something to celebrate at least.
They do say all things come to those who wait. Well played. Dabbed into the leg side.
He's got nice action, this lad, hasn't he, when he comes in left arm.
Oh, well bowled. Well bowled indeed.
Got it right up there, didn't he? Went underneath the bat.
Just might have moved in a little bit as well, I think. A little bit of spin. Just makes the job a little tougher for Gloucester.
That's Britain gone. He found it quite hard going out there, didn't he? Just to hit some nice shots, but just couldn't get it through the field, really. I think I recognise that stance coming out.
Yeah, I think we've young Zach running.
Sam Britton was bowled by Sedmenko for 5. The incoming batter is Paul Seeley.
Gloucester seem to be putting their hands in a bit of experience here now, so.
It's another quick single, but they're probably getting to the stage where they need more than that now, aren't they?
Do you get the feeling quite a lot will be resting on Brandon Berger's shoulders here?
Yeah, he's on 13 off just 7 balls at the moment.
Somerset bowling and fielding has been extremely tight though, so really kept the pressure on. Squeezed away onto the leg side. Very well. 4 runs.
And we get to the short side there, where there's a sort of the sandpit end in front of the Colin Atkins Pavilion, where they've had a few issues with the sort of outfield this season. They had to bring it in a bit, I think, on that side. Managed to pick a gap there.
I think the outfield's a little bit shorter than the one you played on yesterday, wasn't it?
A for about 3 or 4 inches short, yeah. That's a good shot down the
That's a
ground.
good shot down the ground. And that's skipped on for 4
Just
as well.
going to beat him for 4 down in front of us, yeah. Well, he's motoring now, isn't he?
Keeping DJ employed, if nothing else.
Yeah. Nine overs left, 106 to win.
Looking to try and push things along. It's not easy out there. It's wide down the leg side. And a few people sat in the stands down there, starting to fill up a little bit. It's nicely played into the other side. Scamper through for a single.
Yeah, certainly a good turnout. It's probably a better crowd than we would expect to have watching us on a Saturday, that's for sure. Brings Berger back on strike now. And he's going to be caught a slip.
Caught a slip. Nicely judged. You wonder if that's it for Gloucester. We shall see.
Batter for Gloucestershire is Matt Berger.
A lot of frantic arm pointing from the Gloucester batsman at the moment. It seems to be people being pointed in all directions.
Got runners going to and fro, haven't we? We've got seems like we've got 2 runners at the same end at the moment. Because of the way they bowled, they managed to just basically keep everyone in the circle for the entire innings, haven't they, pretty much, except when Berger was going. It's just a
Oh,
one man
shot's
out
out.
now. That's a good shot. Just for a single.
Just for a single.
But yeah, the bowling, they've kept control of it, haven't they, really? So they haven't been forced to send people out into the deep too much, which has meant they've really kept the pressure on, and a lot of dot balls as
Been
a result.
really on top of things, yeah, absolutely. So 12 overs gone. Still another 100 runs needed by Gloucester.
Ball from the Monks for Scotland Pavilion and Jacob Love.
Thanks again.
Not against that, though, playing the old reverse bat shot, first ball he's faced.
It's a bit like watching you bat.
Perhaps not.
Oh, straight up in the air. Oh, unfortunate, John. Oh, come back for two.
Get Zach some exercise anyway.
He'll burn some of that energy off somehow.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Again, he's made contact with it this time. That's 4. Ooh,
That is a
that's
fantastic
a brilliant stop.
piece of fielding. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I thought that had gone for money.
I thought for all money that was 4, but no. Seems to be a favoured shot.
Must have been watching the IPL, I think. It's a good shot. It's cleared the field
Just
there.
over his head. It's gone for 4. There's some varied tunes coming out, aren't there?
We haven't had Sweet Caroline yet, have we? That's when you know it's nearly all over. And again. The reverse paddle.
The reverse paddle.
And this time he has got it for 4.
Crept over the line. Productive over for Gloucester
Yeah.
there.
I think I think we might call it the Birmingham reverse paddle. He's made it his own, hasn't he, that shot?
Definitely seems to have it off to a tee. Refreshment break. In the county championship, Somerset are 246 runs ahead of Lancashire. In James Rood batting again, 42 not out.
They'll have to be looking to declare pretty shortly then, I thought, wouldn't they?
Probably. It's a Lancashire team without Jimmy Anderson at the moment, which is slightly disconcerting.
Yeah, from an England point of view, the summer ahead.
Hopefully it's just a small injury and we'll be back playing soon enough.
Well, Gloucestershire getting on, they've got a first new lead of 52. 303 for 8 at lunch.
It's the second batting point.
Yeah. They've gone mad. It's, outside chance of getting a third if they can put on a bit of a late partnership again. After lunch, I guess.
It's taken a while, but that sun looks like it's finally starting to break through. A bit hazy this morning, but seems to have come through now.
Yeah, it's pretty much fog when we set off, isn't it? From Bristol this morning. .91 still required from 7 overs. It's not getting any more straightforward, this equation, is it?
No. You'll be taking your shoes and socks off soon to be working out the required rate.
Yeah. But yeah, Matt Birmingham's come in 13 off 7, so he's been getting on with it, playing all sorts of interesting shots and trying to push the scoring rate up, which is he's doing exactly what was needed, really.
He's had quite a good game actually. He was pretty tidy behind the stumps.
Yeah,
so
yeah, he was, yeah. pushed a couple more fielders out into the deep now, haven't they? Not right the way back to the boundary, but for some of them just sort of just outside the circle. But as Paul was saying, this is a pretty big outfield for what most of these players will be used to playing on
Definitely seems a bit bigger than, yeah. Struggling a little bit with the line here, but just keeping the strike taking over. There's a couple of people watching the game out on the flats to our left-hand side. Nice to see.
Just come back after spot Sunday lunch, maybe.
It's a shame it's not a bank holiday tomorrow. Getting quite used to those Monday bank holidays.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a shock to the system having to get back to work tomorrow. That's another wide down the leg side that they've run one additional wide. They're thinking about coming back for a second, and they have.
And they make it comfortably. Through on the offside. Umpire calls wide. The run rate creeps down a little bit, but still a bit of an uphill task for Gloucester here. Just 6 overs remaining. The photographer on the boundary keeps wandering around outside the flats there. He's done about 6 laps of the pitch so far, so
Must have a steps counter on his watch.
should have given him mine.
What makes a change from giving it to the dog like you normally do, isn't it?
Cheeky.
It's a good bounce there. That did get up.
A real bit of lift there.
Getting into the back end of the innings, they've managed to keep. They've still got that slip in, haven't they? And they're still pretty attacking fields, really. They've pushed sort of a couple more out on the offside now, but there's still more than they require within the ring. That's a flight to delivery, so they're high up in the air. That's going to be safe.
I must admit, I was looking at the previous delivery and thinking, why is there a leg slip? Ball nearly floats into their hands. After your previous comment, my wife wants to know why I give my Fitbit to the dog now. Thank you.
He's told me all about Hannah. It's definitely true.
Absolutely nothing from the bowler there. That's a real tight delivery.
Yeah, he's hit a really good line length, hasn't he?
Seems to be pushing it through quite well.
Yeah.
Well fielded.
Great stop.
The fielding on the whole has been excellent. Somerset's really have seemed to have stepped it up to another level, though. Some of the outfield stops have been really good.
Yeah, there's not a lot that got past them, has it?
No, no. Full start there. Bats might feel he missed out there. It's one of the looser deliveries he's bowled. Nope.
Ooh, direct
I
hit.
think that's out.
Yeah.
That's gone. It's a fantastic piece of fielding.
Even someone with the paces that couldn't quite make his ground there, could he? Just short.
There's a remorseful look from the runners there, but unfortunately he was out and he's got to go.
Looks like the new man's going to keep hold of Zach as a runner as well, which I'm sure he'll be delighted about after seeing that last ball.
I think as long as Zach's in the game, he's more than happy.
Yeah. Like I say, he's probably one of the quickest ones between the wickets, for certainly for our side and probably for these side as well, I'd imagine.
Ball C was a run out by James, made it 4-3. The new batter is Dave Smart.
Fair contingent of left-handers on both sides. I
Yeah,
must admit.
got
It's,
another one now. This is
yeah.
Dave Smart's out there, the cricket encyclopedia.
It's the extra run off the wide. Gloucester creeping closer to that 100 mark. Onto the leg side, just a single.
It's a good arm out.
I was just that was a real
Fizzed
good,
it in.
yeah, real good return. Slightly more orthodox shot from young Matt Birmingham there. Top ball. Straighter and on the money. Just going for 3 for a single.
Yeah, that's another over done. It's just 4 left now.
87 for 5.
Like I say, the target's got to be 100 first off, hasn't it? And then see what more we can get from there, I would say. Is this the best view you've ever had for watching a cricket match, Matt?
I've not had much better, put it that way. It's just nice with the sun out. Zach needs to start running his bat in again. I have to have a word with him.
All the years of cricket tuition, he's not quite taken everything in yet. Edged out to the offside, but it's not a chance for a run this time.
Comes the reverse lap, slap, whatever you want to call it.
I was just thinking to myself that we hadn't seen it for a couple of balls, so it's good to. But that was a perfect ball to attempt it anyway. It was just too wide to follow it.
Yeah.
There it is again.
You haven't seen it for 2 balls, and now you're.
And there we go.
Yeah.
Well, it's very effective, isn't it? So it's a bit Owen Morgan-esque. So switching the hands around.
Yeah, it's certainly got hints of Morgan, I would have thought. He goes again, and
Oh, they put the fielder out there for that shot and just couldn't get around to take the catch.
if anything, he made too good a contact on that one then.
Yeah.
Just got a bit big on him. One ball left in the over. Gloucester should creep towards that 100 mark. Fielded on the edge of the circle, just the one. Three overs to go. 60 runs needed.
Still possible. But yeah, probably quite unlikely, I thought.
Never say never, James. Never say never.
Chris Martin, the new bowler for Somerset from the River End.
Not to be confused with his namesake from Coldplay.
He went there. I knew I could lull you into that one.
He didn't take much. I could have gone with the ex-Bristol City forward,
Yeah.
but no. Tickled around the corner for one. Tidy bit of fielding.
Yeah, Gloucestershire edging up to 100 now, 99. This partnership's actually been worth 21 now, so it's actually been one of the more productive ones.
So what game will you be watching out of your bedroom window next week then?
There's a 4-day game that starts on Thursday. I can't remember who it's against actually. So that is the 100 up for Gloucestershire. Yeah, they've got Durham. Durham on Thursday, Gloucestershire. Obviously, if any from my employer is listening, I'll be working at home diligently rather than watching the cricket.
Of course you will.
Yep.
Does the Wi-Fi stretch to your balcony?
I don't know, Matt. I've never tried it.
You've never tried it?
No.
Of course you haven't. 2 overs to go. Gloucestershire, 103 for 5. So what would your tactic be here? See how many you can get, or just hang on in there? Do you fancy?
Well, they've got to sort of set themselves a bit of a target. Maybe 120 is realistic. Get as close as they can.
I think so.
They've actually pushed on quite well because they had a bit of a slow, sticky start, didn't they? So they've actually the latter half of the innings they've pushed on a bit better, to be honest. But the fielding and the bowling from Somerset has been on it from ball one, really, hasn't it? They haven't let anything extra go now, sort of freebies, and they've cut all the probably the ones that Somerset were turning into twos, they've turned into ones, haven't they? So
what's happened there? They've actually
I'm not sure what's
stolen
happened
a
there.
single. Literally stolen a single.
I'm not sure what's happened there.
I think
It's an injury to the wicketkeeper.
the keeper may have taken a little knock there, bless. Hopefully it's not too bad. Unfortunately, let's hope we want to have a change of wicketkeeper, but everything will be okay.
Yeah, it looks like Jacob Lunn has taken the gloves for the last 10 balls of the game.
No pads, just the gloves.
He's tough, isn't he?
A flight there.
Straight into action with that player miss. Are we going to be treated to at least one more Birmingham reverse? Here we go.
And as if by magic.
Oh,
You
he's
called it.
chopped on the boundary. And they're going to get back for 2 as well.
Back for 2. Be an interesting wagon wheel, I think, if we looked at his scoring shots.
He's targeted the short side boundaries. Good thinking. Because he's not done it at this end, has he? Can almost do with another fielder down, couldn't they?
Last ball of the over.
Well, if they hit 7 sixes from here, they can still tie.
Excellent piece of fielding again.
It's close, and it's just about on it,
Not
is he?
quite able to stop the second run, but so with 1 over to go, Gloucestershire 112 for 5. Need 42 off the last over. Let's see what they can do.
It's been a sort of great occasion and great game for all these players, though, hasn't it? To get to play at this ground on a sort of day like this, these facilities.
Certainly looks like everybody's enjoyed themselves. It's been a good event for sure. Single off the first ball. Slightly wideish delivery. But I suppose with 5 balls to go, it'd be a bit of a miss if we didn't mention our own club, James. So, I'd like to wish St Mary Redcliffe in Bristol good luck for the season ahead, and particularly next week. Fingers crossed we can get back to full strength very soon.
Another quick single behind the keeper. Just got that.
It's wide. As Paul mentioned, the last over, you get the extra ball.
That's another one, just a bit too short, that wasn't it? Went away with the angle.
Cheeky little dab.
Excellent shot.
Oh, oh, no.
Bit of chaos out there, that's what I like to see, isn't it?
Bit of yes, no, yes, no. Bit like the hokey cokey, wasn't it? In out, in out.
In fact, Zach did a full loop at one point there.
I played a game a couple of years ago where I was batting with Zach, and I dropped the ball, actually played a defensive shot for once, and found him practically there shaking my hand. At which point I sent him back to the other end. Not quite sure how that missed. Two balls left. Another direct hit. I'm not playing this like darts.
They'll be right down the fairway, won't they?
Absolutely.
Coconut shy.
Must admit, it's been really good fun doing this. It's quite nice to do something a little bit different on a Sunday morning, and actually watching cricket is great.
Nice little fine sweep. That's the last ball of the innings. It's going to get Gloucestershire up to 120. And that is it. End of the game. So congratulations to Somerset. They've won by 33 runs.
Well done, well played, Somerset, indeed. Well played, everybody. It's been a lovely morning.
My pleasure, yeah. And thanks for Somerset for having us up here as well.
Absolutely.
Much appreciated.
Thanks to Gloucester for the opportunity. And thanks to Paul. Thanks to Emma. And cheers to the two old blokes from Bristol giving a chance to commentate on this.
That's it. What's
Right.
that, mate? Thank you very much.
much.
Goodbye.